When you hear Kanye West passionately plead for musical artists to own their own masters, what exactly is he talking about? To spell it out simple and plain, a master recording refers to the underlying rights to a song. Streaming revenue, album sales, even movie and television appearances of a rapper's songs are licensed by whoever holds the rights to their master recording. In fact, if record labels own the masters to rappers' tracks, they control the financial gains of those recordings in the present tense and in the future. Since Kanye West is pushing for rappers to be able to legally reclaim the rights to their master recordings, something they rarely possess in the music industry, which rappers own their masters already? Now, before we begin, be sure to subscribe to this channel with notifications because we drop weekly videos all about how rappers got their come up and how you can too. And if you're interested in becoming a professional rapper right now this year, be sure to pick up our free video course, The Top 20 Songwriting Secrets of Professional Rappers, by visiting the first link in the video description box below. Chicago's recently deceased rapper King Von succumbed to an early demise. But thankfully for his family's sake, King Von handled his business while he was alive and owned his masters to his music. King Von's manager Track told DJ Academics in an interview that the Chi-Town rising star wasn't contractually signed to any record labels and that he merely had musical project obligations to fulfill with Empire Distribution. He owns all of his own masters. He wasn't an artist that sold his publishing, so everything belongs to him. It's a blessing from God because his kids and his family will be good for the rest of their life. As a team, our number one focus is to make sure that his immediate family is taken care of. His mom, his sisters, his brothers. Von had 2 kids, just making sure they got a trust funds, whatever income. The Italian-American hit machine Russ has made his name by making it known that he writes, records, produces, even mixes and masters his own music. Being such an early adopter of the independent movement in the streaming era, it should come as no surprise that Russ is a rapper that owns his own masters. To inspire his supporters to follow in his footsteps, Russ even shared his monthly revenue streaming numbers by posting his TuneCore reports on his Instagram account. First platinum plaque on my TuneCore. There's still money in selling music, you just have to own it. Russ revealed that he has been averaging about $100,000 a week thanks to his prolific output of music that he actually owns the masters to. Russ has many platinum monsters like Losing Control, What They Want, Missing You Crazy, and Ain't Nobody Taking My Baby under his belt. Canadian rap star Tory Lanez may have been engulfed in scorching hot controversy in 2020 involving Megan Thee Stallion. But just before all of that negativity unfolded, Tory Lanez took to Instagram in May of 2020 to announce his freedom from his record label, and you guessed it, owning his masters. I waited and calculated for 4 years to be my own boss. I own all of my masters, publishing, royalties, etc. This may not mean nothing to y'all, but seeing my record label at the bottom attached to a major label is what we have worked this hard for. Hashtag temperature rising on every major platform out now. Tory further drove home the point that he was the rightful master of his masters during an interview with Genius. To be 100%, there's so many labels offering me so much money, like millions of dollars. I've gotten offers that are life-changing offers, but I don't care. I already own my own masters. The Atlanta via the United Kingdom rapper 21 Savage has been the hardworking architect of smash hits like A Lot, Bank Account, X, and No Heart. Believe it or not, back in 2016, 21 Savage signed a record deal with Epic Records that permitted him to actually retain 100% ownership of his masters, which he confirmed on Twitter by saying, I own 100% of my own masters. Just imagine how profitable 21's situation must be, keeping his publishing rights all for himself while still benefiting from the major label muscle that expands his global exposure. Even with the October 2nd, 2020 release of the 21 Savage and Metro Boomin joint album Savage Mode 2, 21 Savage and Epic Records were still in business together, featuring songs with Drake and Young Thug. Sure, the Australian Caucasian rapper Iggy Azalea doesn't have the legal rights to her masters for the collection of her old music, such as her big tune Fancy, but ownership is taken on a whole new priority for her as she now owns the masters to the new music that she has been making moving forward. In 2019, Iggy Azalea responded to the intense financial squabble that pop star Taylor Swift was involved in with Scooter Braun over the rights of Taylor's older catalog. I'm so happy to own my master for the new album. In my defense, they really do people crazy dirty on ownership of their intellectual property in the biz. Iggy Azalea's album, In My Defense, included songs like Homita featuring Lil Yachty and Freak of the Week featuring Juicy J. Chance the Rapper, the Prince of Chicago do-it-yourselfness, has held tight to the idea of ownership. Being his own boss has benefited Chance so much that he managed to make history along the way with his mixtape Coloring Book, becoming the first streaming-only album to win a Grammy Award. Chance has earned the financial flexibility to turn down a record deal from one of his Chicago musical inspirations, Kanye West's Good Music label, back in 2016. While on the Joe Budden podcast in October of 2018, Chance the Rapper talked about how taking a chance on himself and owning his masters has made an overwhelmingly positive impact on his career. I'm independent because I own all my recording rights and publishing rights and distribution, everything. The extensively active, award-winning Memphis, Tennessee rapper Yo Gotti officially owns all his masters. Gotti took to his Instagram account to make the major announcement. Drop my album, out my deal, own my masters, all in the first month of the year 2020. Gonna be different. Well, he had that right. Yo Gotti tagged CMG and Rock Nation in that Instagram social media post due to the fact that those are the two organizations he'd be dealing with. The top-tier Atlanta rapper 2 CHAINZ described his satisfaction with owning his masters on Joe Budden Pull-Up Season 2, Episode 2, even though 2 CHAINZ is still signed to the major label Def Jam. When it was time to renegotiate, that was one of my deal points, so I could be like independent artists who do the same thing. So why wouldn't you want to keep me on a label and keep me around? I'm sure I keep a lot of Def Jam bills paid. I'm not in the red, I'm a profit-making artist. With the billionaire status that Jay-Z exudes, it should be completely obvious that arguably the most famous rap star to ever emerge out of the New York City borough of Brooklyn owns his master recordings. In fact, Jay-Z, the captain of the Rock Nation brand, demanded the total control of his Def Jam masters as part of the deal when he took on the job as president of the label back in 2004. Not only is LL Cool J the very first rapper to put out an album on Def Jam Records, but he became one of the first and biggest solo superstars in hip-hop history while still a teenager. LL Cool J still stands strong in the entertainment industry, with multiple revenue streams flowing from film, television, and his Rock the Bells brand that authentically champions the golden era of hip-hop culture. Owning his master recordings has also been an integral part of LL's success, even back at a time when the very thought of that was incredibly uncommon. Sway Calloway spoke with the legendary hip-hop icon during an episode of Sway in the Morning in November 2019, asking if LL Cool J owned the masters to all of his 13 albums, with LL confirming, "Yeah, I've owned them for some 20-some years. Yes, all of it. So when you hear Mama Said Knock You Out in the movie and stuff like that, like I've licensed those songs. A lot of people don't know that though. I own all them joints. Writers get their share, Def Jam gets a little piece for the distributing, so it's business. But I own it and I control it." That's something to me that in this day and age is something we talk about. We didn't really talk about it back then. Okay, so there's 10 rappers who own their own master recordings. Let us know in the comments, are there any other rappers that we missed that you find interesting? And if you know the story or the background of it, definitely let us know. But are there any rappers who own their own master recordings that we didn't list? And let us know in the comments. I've been your host, Drew Morrissey, here for How to Rap, and I appreciate you watching. See you on the next one.